All right, I think we're gonna get started here. So like all these meetings, they are recorded, so that way I can, upload them to YouTube and have you hi and have you guys rewatch it. This is in the event you can't make it, or maybe you just need to get back to the information that we shared. So it's a very good idea to check the YouTube channel from time to time to review, the knowledge base. There's a wide variety of videos on the YouTube channel at this point that you can always get back to at your own time. Okay, and I will have a link to that also within this presentation. Okay. Sometimes I have polls on the screens that you can, participate in, which make these Tech Tuesdays more interesting and more fun. So I don't have one today, but in the future, if you are present, please engage in those. It makes the experience much, much better. You can engage with me at any time, raise your hands, ask questions in the chat, unmute yourself. I'll pause here and there to ask if you guys have any questions or a quick pulse check to make sure you're still with me. All right. So today we are going to be talking about email marketing using AI. Okay. And there's a lot of different AI software out there, but the one we'll be talking about is ChatGPT. I think it's the most popular one out there right now. So you've probably heard the term ChatGPT at least once, I'm sure. Okay. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. And I also have a few extras if we have time. So it's going to be a very quick meeting. I just want to show you this really cool feature. So just this knowledge in itself, knowing this will save you a lot of time in the future. So you're going to get a big ROI on the time you're spending learning about this software. Okay, and I think everyone in the chat right now is an EXP agent. So that's amazing because that gives you access to KvCORE, which we will be diving into. All right. Again, of course, any questions at any time, let me know in the chat. Unmute yourself and let me know. Or you can raise your hand too, I think. All right. So let's start with defining what AI is, or specifically what the ChatGPT AI is. So to put it in the most simple terms possible, I actually asked AI to provide a definition of itself in a very easy to understand terminology. And this is what it gave me. It's like having a smart assistant for your computer. It's a technology that enables machines to learn and understand human-like tasks. In the case of ChatGPT, it's a program that can chat with people in a natural way, just like you would chat with a friend. Okay. So I talk about ChatGPT a lot. I talk about AI a lot to different agents, real estate agents, and colleagues, friends, pretty much everyone. I use this on a daily basis at this point. And something I do see a lot of people, I don't want to say a mistake that they make, but I do want to share that, you can get the most out of ChatGPT by talking to it like you would be talking to a friend, just like it says here in the definition. Because if you start formulating, prompts, or when I say prompts, I mean queries. So when you go on Google and you have a question, you'll obviously type the question you have. Okay, sometimes you can type it in a different terminology than the way you would ask a friend, you know. So say you could type what is AI in um, Google. It'll give you a definition. It'll give you plenty of links. You probably have your process for searching things up online that way. But most often than not, when you're asking when you're asking someone some information, you probably won't formulate it in the same way you would type it in Google. So AI, I try to tell people to communicate with the AI as if they were talking to someone. Okay. And doing it that way will give you the best results, I tend to find. Okay. So this is what AI is, just an assistant that helps you um, do tasks much quicker, more efficiently. And yeah, it's altogether a huge time saver. And we're going to dive into some uses for real estate agents here, but I did want to start with this definition. Okay. So how can AI help you? So AI can be a valuable tool for realtors by helping them engage with potential clients. It's very, very quick. I highlighted all the most important parts that, if you walk away with anything as far as what AI is, just know it'll help you engage with potential clients. It'll do it quickly, it'll do it efficiently, it'll enhance your communication, and it's more effective. Okay, it's very, very, very easy to use. I will be showing you a few examples, but if you walk away with any piece of knowledge, at least know what AI is and what it's able to do for you. Okay, and something I do want to highlight is some people think that this costs money to use or is, very time consuming to learn how to use, but it's not hard at all to learn how to use. And as a matter of fact, AI is free, at least as of right now. Okay. There are some AI softwares out there that, yes, you might need to pay for, but for the most part, what's going to help you in your business, the one we're talking about today, ChatGPT, is absolutely free to use. And you can create a free account um, on their website, or if you have KvCORE, like all of us EXP agents do, you already have some great features embedded within KvCORE that you can take advantage of at no charge. Okay, and we'll be looking at those primarily today. All right, so before we dive into KvCORE and actually start seeing what this AI looks like, is there any questions on what AI is or comments? Have you used it before? Thoughts, concerns? Anybody? All right. Welcome, Terry. Nice to see you. You're right on time. We're about to get started. Um, Going once, going twice. Leave your questions in the chat if you have any at any point. Okay. So now that we know what AI is, and what you can use it for, and how, um, and that it's free, and you're able to use this at no charge. Let me show you guys some examples of AI when using KvCORE to do email marketing or text marketing. So I'm going to open up my KvCORE here. There it is. So when you log into KvCORE, you will see this screen. It's going to be your dashboard. Okay, so as soon as you log in, this is what you should see. And to use the AI features of KvCORE, it's embedded seamlessly in the email composer. So of course, before you start utilizing this feature, you want to have the leads or the contacts to which you wish to communicate with already inside KvCORE. I've made countless videos on importing contacts into KvCORE. As a matter of fact, I think the last Tech Tuesday we did was about importing contacts into KvCORE. So if you have not, let me actually link that video in the chat here. Let's see. Let's see. I'll find that video here. It's one of the more important ones, importing your contacts into KvCORE. So we'll get the link to that. And I'll put this in the YouTube, the Zoom chat. So if your contacts are not in KvCORE, I highly recommend you start doing that, plug them in there, and this video will walk you through step by step. Not only do I show you how to do it, but I show you best practices, common mistakes, and, tips to actually stick to it. Okay, so this video is a very, very great resource, and it had a lot of great questions also during the Tech Tuesday. Of course, you can always reach out to me also. Give me a text, call, send me an email, and we can set up some one-on-one time, and I will help you get those contacts onto KvCORE. Okay. But with that being said, so yes, obviously, if you're going to utilize KvCORE to send out email marketing or text messages using AI, you need to have the people you wish to contact in KvCORE. And just in case you haven't imported any contact, I will show you the most quickest way to add someone into the system so that you can maybe run an example. And the best way to actually start utilizing these features is to add yourself as a contact on your KvCORE system. Okay, so the way you would do that is the quickest way to add a contact in KvCORE is by clicking the Quick Actions button. It's this blue button at the top of the navigation bar. It says Quick Actions. So if you click on here, it'll give you a drop down, and the very first option is going to be Add Contact right here. So you could click on that, and very simple, put your first name, last name, email, your cell phone, and very important right here, KvCORE is going to ask you, oops, let me zoom out. KvCORE is going to ask you for permission to reach out to these people, and it'll give you 3 different methods: email, text, and call. So I personally think email is king when it comes to nurturing leads using any CRM, KvCORE included. So whatever you do, make sure you have an email address on file for the leads that you import. Okay. So at the very least, there should be yes marked right here as far as permission to contact under the email field. So what this is if this is set to no, KvCORE by default will assume that these people unsubscribed from email communications. Maybe not through text, maybe not through calls. So if that's not the case, just put a yes here and make sure you have an email address on file. And then everything else, just go ahead and type the information it's asking for. The more you can give, the better. Okay. And I go through all this in the video I just put in the chat. So if you need help with that, you can review that at your own time, and also reach out to me if you need extra help. All right. So once you have a contact in there, so let me actually simulate this here. I have some contacts that I imported just for test purposes. So let's open up Amy right here. Amy Carrillo. This is not a real person, it's a fake contact. So as soon as you add a contact into KvCORE, this screen will pop up. So this screen basically represents all the information pertaining to said contact that you created, or any contact that you click on. It will give you the person's info, such as number, email, address if you have any on file, hashtags, which we've talked about, but it's not something we need to worry about right now. At the middle here, you can see what bucket this lead falls in. Is it a sphere of influence person, a prospect, a new lead, a client, or someone you're in contract with, or a past, closed client? And on the right-hand side, in the third section right here, you're able to take actions, okay? So actions being calling that said person, adding notes to this person's contact info, sending text messages, emails, voicemail drops, video even, and then presentations. And in this Tech Tuesday, I want to highlight these 2 features right here. So sending emails and sending text messages. We'll quickly look at the call feature, because this enables us to generate script also if you do like to cold call, or just in general like to have a script when talking to people over the phone. So these 3 here: calling, emailing, and texting using AI. So let's say that you are trying to check in on, a lead that you have, someone you haven't talked to. You want to stay top of mind. You want to send a check-in email reminding them that you're here for all of their real estate needs. Okay. So imagine I haven't talked to Amy in 6 months, or maybe the whole quarter. I try to reach out to her every quarter. So naturally, I would open up Amy's contact info, and then I would go to the action section. And let's say I want to send her an email. Okay. So I would go right here and then click on where it says send email. So I'm going to click on that. So once we go ahead and click on email, send email, this box right here is going to pop up. Now, normally, this is where you would come in and just type, your email, hello, Amy, and then you would go on ahead and, type out the email, think about what you want to put in there, brainstorm what kind of information you want to add onto it, maybe links that you want to have in here. So naturally, this is what you would do. Even if you were not using KvCORE and you wanted to reach out, you would open up your Gmail account or your iCloud, mail app, and still do the same thing. Open up the email interface and just type away and send that email, which is fine. But with this method, not only do you have to um, brainstorm what your message is going to look like, you also have to um, think about what added value are you adding to this? Is it creative enough? Or just the time commitment in itself to think about what to type in this email sometimes can be a lot. Okay, it's a very time consuming. So a great feature that you can utilize to help you save that time and be more efficient and just be quicker overall is to use AI to come up with something to send to Amy. So the way we would do that is I'll delete all of this stuff here. Very easy. All we want to do, let me move myself up here. To access the AI feature, all we want to do is click on this blue button at the top right. It says Use Smart Assistant. Okay. This blue button is all you need to click on to launch the AI feature. So if I click on here, it's going to open up this new section right here. In the same screen, it'll have this little box in dark gray that's called the Smart Assistant, and it's powered by none other than ChatGPT. So this is a fairly new feature on KvCORE, and I'm so glad they added this because it's going to save agents a lot of time. Okay, so this is how it works. It says craft a message up here. So you have some templates you can click on. You have 3 boxes at the top right here. You could do send welcome email message, promote a listing, or send a check-in email. Now, the analogy I gave was to, just check in on Amy, make sure, she knows we're still here for all her real estate needs. So this bubble right here, this option sounds like the one that would fit the need I have. So I would click on this box and then it will fill in the box at the bottom here that says send a check-in email message, the exact same thing. So whatever you click on here at the top, it basically just populates that prompt into this field right here. Okay. But you don't have to click on these bubbles. These are not the only options you have. You can type virtually anything in this box. Okay. It could be send a follow-up email to an open house. It could be send a newsletter about the benefits of home ownership. It could be so many things. But let's just take one of these examples. So send a check-in email message. Once I click on that, it will write that for me in this field that's asking for the prompt. Okay, prompt also means, what your question is. So your question is your prompt. So once your prompt is in there, just click on generate, okay, with the little magic wand, because it is just like magic. So I'll click on generate, and then notice at the bottom here, magically, the email's being composed for me. And the thing I like about KvCORE is KvCORE will automatically put these things called merge tags. Okay, you're gonna notice these little brackets with certain key code names or whatnot. So what these are is KvCORE will replace anything between these brackets with the appropriate information. This helps a lot when you're sending a message to a lot of people at once. So KvCORE will automatically replace this with the correct information. But just notice how all of this was typed up for me in just seconds, just by the click of a button. It goes through, hey, I hope this email finds you well. Wanted to take a moment to check in. Real estate can be a complex and challenging process. If you have any questions or concerns, it's even going to plug in my emails, my phone number, all of these things that KvCORE is already trained to know and knows to include in my email for me. And even an email signature right here down here. It's going to add my title, phone, website, my full name. Pretty much just did all the work for me. If you don't like how this sounds, you can always go in here and then add your own text to it. Delete stuff if you don't like certain portions. If it's too long, you can remove a paragraph or two. Or if you want a whole other message generated, just like we did it the first time, you can click on generate once more. And notice how it's just going to type up another variation of a check-in email. So just like that, very, very simple. So just this in itself is very, very powerful because you can now just go into KvCORE, just type a sentence, anything you want written out, any emails you want to generate and send out. And just by typing that sentence in the prompt field, you can click generate and it'll type up a whole email for you that you can send out to the contacts, your leads, your prospects, your sphere of influence. This is just one example. It also does the subject for you. Okay, so the subject for this email is checking in on your real estate goals. So I like this email. It pretty much does what I wanted to do. I didn't have to think about it. It took me seconds. Whereas before I would have to sit down and think about what to put in there, proofread it, make sure there's no typos, make sure it sounds nice, professional. Does it have my contact info? Is everything written properly? So many different steps were just skipped because, AI is going to do it properly for me. Eunice, it looks like you have a question. Please go for it. That, yeah, that is a very, very great question. I have tried that before, not in KvCORE. So let's just edit this prompt and find out together. That's a really good question. So send a check-in email message and I'll add in Spanish. Oops, that's not how I write Spanish. Spanish. So let's see what happens. Check this out. It says, ¿Cómo estás? And then boom, there's my whole email. That's very good. I didn't know actually if KvCORE would handle that, but there you go. It's powered by ChatGPT, which is what I use. So yeah, there you go. That's a good question. I always use the city of Torrance. So send a check-in email for my clients in the city of Torrance in Spanish. So we'll click generate. I don't know what it'll say, but I'm sure it'll have Torrance as the area of in question. I don't know if you can read this, but there you go. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it did generate it for the city of Torrance, but yeah, I think that's a go. Yeah, see, the subject says check in on your real estate journey in Torrance, and then it goes through everything. I think honestly, the sky's the limit when it comes to AI. You could just type whatever and it'll give you what you want. Okay, awesome question. Did you have a follow-up question? I'm sorry, I think I might have cut you off. Awesome, thank you. All right. Um, Anybody else has any questions? Anything I've done that you want me to review or re-explain, or is everyone following with me? Yeah, text messages? Yes, you are able to do text messages as well. So now that we've done the email, I'll come back to this. We'll maybe do one or two more examples, but just in the same way, so I'll close this, just in the same way we clicked on send email, to the right of that, we can click on send text, okay? When we click on that, we'll get the same interface. It'll say craft a message, and then we can click on some of the quick, the suggested prompts. So send a check-in text message, for example, and I can click generate, and just like that, it just made a text message for me. It'll be much shorter because it's a text, but you are able to add on to it, tweak your prompt. Let's do another language in French this time. If you have French clients, and there you go. You can also do text messages. Anybody else? Maybe I think I might have missed a question or two. Yes.
do some writing, but the I wanted it to be two paragraphs.
Yes.
The way this works, um, you can't cut it as long as this is. You can't cut it and then keep the spacing uh, so that it looks like this is a paragraph, space, another paragraph. So it doesn't, I think the distance or space distance is 1.5, and I wanted a 1.0 so that I would hit the second paragraph with separation. I wasn't able to get that to work, so I just let it go as it looked.
You mean the space between the lines when
Yeah,
you're typing the
between the
email?
lines, yeah. Well, because like I said, I wanted it to look like two paragraphs,
Yeah.
but because it goes, the margins are so long or
Oh,
wide, you can't really cut it off. You know what I mean? So
right.
it,
Were you
it
using
goes,
this?
I got it through. I just hit a few more spaces for the second paragraph. That's fine. How it goes.
Were you using the regular composer or the smart editor? Because I think you do you remember?
Kind of both, but
Okay.
it didn't please what I needed, so I
Oh,
just
gotcha.
that
Let me
worked
see
okay.
here.
I got it out, and that was good enough.
Yeah.
Really, I did have a little. See how you? All right, that's what I. How did you do that?
I just generated something random to see if it would give me the space, but yeah, it looks like this doesn't look too
Right.
wide, I don't think.
It looks like another. It's starting something different because of its size. The
Yeah.
length of your sentence. So I
Yeah.
was concerned that with it being that big, how would that look on the phone? It doesn't look good.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So
Yeah.
I tried it a lot of ways, but it finally came out okay.
Okay.
Um, and I just lived with it the way it was, and it worked. But it just gave me
I see.
lot of hassle with it. But it is a wonderful thing to work with. I can tell you.
Absolutely, I agree. Yeah, I would say just play around with it. Maybe try the AI feature we're doing here because it seems to generate it at least, this way without the spaces. And something I noticed a lot too, if you're typing your message elsewhere and then pasting it into KvCORE, it's
Mhm.
not going to format it properly. So you want to actually type it in KvCORE to get it
Yeah,
to look how you want.
I did that too.
Did it? Did you? Okay, okay.
I tried all good. But like I said, I just accept it. That's the way it looks.
Okay. No problem. As long as the message is valuable, I don't think people will look
Yeah,
into
it
it.
looked really well by the time I got to, but
Awesome.
I learned a lot about it.
No problem. Awesome, awesome. All right. Any other questions, anyone? Anything we did so far you want to ask about? All questions welcome. There's no basic questions. Awesome. Okay. So we've seen emails and text. I'll do one more example. So let me kind of backtrack here for anyone that might have joined us a little late. So, all right, we're back at the beginning. You log into KvCORE, you're on your dashboard, and now you're looking to reach out to a client, maybe check in with them. You haven't spoken to them in a minute. So you want to find that client in your Smart CRM section. This is where all of your contacts will be listed. You could just click on where it says Smart CRM right here. It'll take you to this screen with a table with all of your contacts. So you can click on individual contacts and then send them messages, or you can also select multiple people at once, you know, that you want to reach out to. So this time we'll do multiple people. Okay. So let's say I want to send a message to the only the people that I've checked here. Okay. And if you want to select everyone on the page, you can also click on the box next to first name, and then it'll select everyone on that page. Okay. Um, Once you have made your selection of recipients, so the people you want to reach out to, you are able to click on where it says mass email. So this button will be right next to, um, right above the table, and then right next to the search bar. It says mass email. So if I click on this, and I'm going to zoom out right here, we're going to get the same interface once more. And then we can go ahead and click use Smart Assistant in blue right here. And that's going to that's going to show us our Smart Assistant menu where we can give our prompt to the AI to generate an email for us. So let's try a different example this time. Um, let's say maybe I want to share a fun fact about real estate to all of these people. Okay, so not just a boring check-in message. So the way I would formulate this prompt is completely up to me. You don't have to think too hard when typing the prompt. So again, don't talk to it as if you were doing a Google search. Talk to it as if you were talking to an assistant. So someone you've hired and that, you want them to send a fun fact to all of the leads. So I could say, uh, send a fun fact email um, about real estate ownership. And yeah, I'm just going to keep it this simple. Send a fun fact email about real estate ownership, just like that. And then I will click generate. And just like that, there goes my email. So the subject is fun fact about real estate ownership, and then it'll have a tip in there. I'm actually curious. So did you know that owning real estate can be a lot of fun? Here's a fun fact about real estate ownership. The average homeowner stays in their home for about 13 years before moving. I thought it was actually, yeah, I think it is 13 because I did research on this. So yeah, 13 years before moving. So that's an email typed up for me right there that I can send, get the conversation going with my leads. And, doing this on a consistent basis enough can definitely strengthen relationships and have you become the go-to agents when there's any real estate services needed. Okay. Um, so yeah, these are just examples I'm thinking of off the top of my head. But I mainly just want to show you how powerful this tool is. And just with, a little bit of imagination, you can come up with an infinite number of marketing material to send out. Okay. And because it's so quick, it's free. There's no limit. You can do this a million times every single day. There's nothing stopping you from being consistent at nurturing your leads. Because I do notice that for most, follow up is a huge area of opportunity. Okay. Knowing what to send, knowing what to talk about, understanding what kind of value to provide to the leads in their system. Because most often than not, getting through the barrier of getting people into your CRM is step one. Okay, so if you pass step one, I also do notice people have contacts in their CRM, but they just sit there and they're never nurtured. And overthinking what you're going to send to these leads is going to set you back versus the person who's going to just send fun information, free information, just anything. You'd be surprised that at the level of engagements that you will get just by being consistent and always sending emails. I work with a lot of different agents, and we have, market reports going out to people, newsletters going out to people, fun little emails like this going out to people. And I do want to convey, think of this, email marketing thing as a long-term effort. You're looking to build relationships. You're investing time right now to have that, yield you the results much later down the line. And what I've noticed is some people might not open up your emails for a month, 2 month, 3 month, but maybe at that fourth month, they see your emails coming in, they're interested by the subject line, maybe they read it but they don't reply. They start becoming, consistent people that keep opening up your emails and keep looking at properties. And I see this day to day. So think of it as a long-term effort, put in the work now, just stay consistent at it, and do not leave any leads or contacts in your CRM unnurtured. If they're in there and you don't intend on sending them anything, or you are not going to, do anything, just either remove them from the CRM or make sure they have some type of information going out to them at the very, 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 very least once every week. Me personally, I try to send something about 2 to 3 times a week. Um, a market report, maybe interesting listings, and maybe a fun fact every single week. And I have a lot of people that come back to the website to, maybe read the blog articles, maybe read the newsletters, or just look at properties that they find interesting. And keeping that going for a long enough period of time builds that relationship. And it's all about staying top of mind. Okay. So this is just another example of how you can use AI to make that job much easier for you. All right, so let's go ahead and close this. And let's go ahead and, oops. All right, so those were a few examples on email marketing and text messaging using KvCORE with ChatGPT or the Smart Assistant AI. Any questions on what we just did just now?
So, hey, do you know, if I recall correctly, is there a page in KvCORE where you can check if they opened it? Remind me how that goes.
If they opened what, sorry?
The email or a text
Oh
message?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, let me see here. So I'm gonna open up a contact. If you go into the contacts and you hover over, everything you send out to clients will be listed in chronological order. So I sent an email on January 7th, 6th, 5, etc., etc. If you hover over the little email box, it will tell you if it's been open or not. And if it is open, this will be a blue icon instead, and it will tell you the time and date. Okay. So that's how you check to see if they've opened it or not. So that's a great question. It's a great thing to check for.
Man, let me ask you this since you're looking at it. So if you looked at the list that you sent out, can you go back that one page?
The list, we're
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
Okay.
stop. So in the middle there, you see a telephone and you see a zero.
Yes.
Then you see, all right, so that means no phone calls. And then if you move over to the envelope,
Hmm.
36 letters right there.
That's
And
right.
if you look at the red come down a little bit, see that?
Yep.
It out. Now I'm not sure if I could send the person another one or not when they popped out. I don't know what that means that much.
Sure.
Um, but that's what I found out. That's how it looks when it doesn't, when they to be mail. And you also see if you don't see that, um, they didn't open your mail. So I learned a lot of stuff about that trying to get that working. But most of it was because of you. I was able to get a lot done.
Uh,
So I
yeah.
want to thank you for that.
No,
Um,
no worries. So yeah, that's a really great observation too. So over here on this screen, when you're looking at all your leads, you are able to hover over these icons and it will tell you how many calls were made to that person, or vice versa, them calling you. And here you can see that I've sent 36 emails to this person and it says no response. Okay, remember all these leads that you're looking at here are just test leads I use for um, the purpose of showing you these examples to not expose private information, but it will tell you right here, email sent out versus how many were open. And same thing with text messages. Okay, so if you see this, the opted out sign, do not send them any extra email. So this means that they've clicked the unsubscribe button on your email, meaning they wish to no longer receive that communication. And at that point, I recommend just archiving that contact. So just completely remove that contact from the system, because you don't want to keep sending things to people who opted out. Then you might get in trouble. Same thing with text messages. Okay. So if you see opt out under the email section, that does not restrict you technically from sending text messages because they can also independently unsubscribe from text messages. But as a general rule of thumb, if someone opts out of one method, I try not to keep bombarding them, in another method. So, but yeah, that's what that means. They opted out. So they don't want to receive any more emails. Okay. Any, I hope that answered your question, Eunice. Any other questions or follow-up questions? Anyone? Awesomeness. Okay. Um, yeah, so that's how you check for that. Oops, let's go back here. So you are able to use, actually, before we get to this, let me show you guys one last feature you can use the Smart Assistant for in KvCORE. So we looked at, AI, sending emails with AI, sending emails with, sending text messages with AI. Something really powerful also KvCORE offers is the ability to generate scripts for you. A lot of people love scripts, especially when they're doing cold calls. It gives you, a sense of direction, to make sure you're leading the conversation to the right destination and not get lost in thought or in the sauce. Okay. So if you do need a script and you can't find one, or you just need one quick, efficiently, and built specifically for the scenario you find yourself in, you are able to click on where it says new call. Okay, so this is where you can create that script. So once you click on new call, this is now going to launch a phone call to the person. Okay, so don't be afraid to click on new call. Again, this is where I clicked on new call. It's the first one at the top left. So if I click on new call, I'll zoom in here. All right, hopefully I hope you guys can see this. Let me move myself right here. So notice at the bottom right here, there's a message that says, need help with a call script by using the power of artificial intelligence, blah, blah, blah. You can streamline, creating compelling call scripts. So we would click on use Smart Assistant once more. I like the consistent, um, naming of these buttons. So that way, when you see use Smart Assistant, you know it's going to be an AI feature to make your life easier. So you could click on where it says that, use Smart Assistant. And then we get back to this familiar screen where you are able to type in your prompt and then generate, that script for you. So we have a few suggestions here. You can craft a follow-up script. You can craft a check-in script if in case instead of sending a check-in email, you can maybe do a check-in call and know what to say, or even a welcome script. Maybe they provided their info to you, you added them to your KvCORE, and you want to send a welcome script. Okay, this one, I forgot what it is, but it's a crazy acronym for something. So let's go ahead and click on craft a check-in script. Okay, so by clicking on that, it'll write it in here. We can give it more details, erase this, write our own, what we're looking for, but I'll click on this one and then we'll click on generate. And then just like that, it'll get to work in just seconds. It's already creating a check-in script for me. So check this out. So we have, exactly line by line what we're going to say during this call. I could pick up my phone, dial Amy's number, and I could say, "Hi, Amy. I hope you're doing well. I wanted to touch base and see how everything was going. I'm here to assist you every step of the way. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions, da da da." And then here's a quick check-in to see how things are progressing. You can ask these questions. Have your property preferences changed since we last spoke? You could do search updates. Have you come across any properties that caught your eye? Financing, scheduling, are there changes to availability for property showings? Additional resources. There is so much. So you could keep the conversation going perpetually just by generating scripts and having all of these talking points. So this has helped me a few times. I'm generally off the off the cuff type of person. I just pick up the phone and call and go where the conversation goes with when I talk to leads. But this has come in handy a lot of times when I wanted to ask probing questions to qualify or disqualify someone who might or might not be ready to buy. Um, so yeah, this is one script, is one example. Let's type in our own. So let's say I wanted to give a call to everyone that visited my open house. So if you get the opportunity to host the open house, typically you have a check-in or sign-in sheet. You collect people's information on, they put their emails and phone numbers. So at the end of the day, when the open house is done, you can, obviously decide to give them a call to thank them and ask extra questions. So I'll do um, open house follow-up script. Do write me an open house follow-up script. Okay, just like that. And I'll click generate. And notice at the bottom here, there it goes. The subject is thank you for visiting our open house. And right here we have our first line, hi, whatever the person's first name is. Thank you for attending our open house. And then it'll even plug in the listing address based on, if this is your listing, it will know. KvCORE is smart enough to, using your DRE, it can pull what listings you have and then see where you've done an open house. So it'll plug in the address for you, or you could just say it, obviously. It was a pleasure meeting you, showing you the property, da da da. And then it has all of those talking points that, you can also bring up during the conversation. Okay, so this is another example on how you can use AI to help you nurture your leads. So I'm actually curious. I want to see what this one is. An LPMAMA questions. So let's find out what it is together. Okay, there it is. So location, price, motivation, oops, agent, marketing strategy. Okay, that's what that stands for. So I guess these are just probing questions to see what location people are looking for, price range, what motivates them to buy or sell. Are they working with an agent? Um, how they wish to receive your marketing info, and maybe if the, okay. Yeah, I forgot what that was, but this is just a overall script for qualifying or disqualifying a lead, it looks like. Okay, but again, you are able to type in your own custom prompt here to generate something that will fit your need specifically. Okay, any questions on generating call scripts using AI? Awesome, awesome. Okay, so these are the three. Yeah.
I want to ask you, people probably know how to do it, but I hear them doing a video call. What do you call it? A video text or something like that. It's,
Mm,
have you heard of it?
a video text? What do you mean?
And if I know, I didn't know it.
Uh,
I don't know exactly.
uh-huh.
I just hear there's a video text that's sent out. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to find that.
Okay, okay. Yeah, do share that with me, if you, I'm curious. Is that something using AI that I don't think
I don't know. I don't
I
know. I
don't,
just
okay.
see it. In fact, I was in a meeting this morning and I said, "Oh yeah, I just sent 20 video texts out." I'm like, "What?"
Oh, okay. I think I know what you might be referring to. There are some also other AI softwares that create videos based on text that you provide, but those videos are more so image based. So if you're telling a story, it'll illustrate the story with images that might, match the story you're telling. Maybe that's what it is. Um, but yeah, if you find more information, I'm curious to see what that was or what that is. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, but as far as KV Core, these are the three main things you are able to do. Create emails, text messages, and call scripts. Okay. So let's go back here. Any questions, anyone? All right. So of course you're able to use AI beyond just KvCORE. You can go directly to the ChatGPT website. Let me actually plug that website here. So this is it. So I'll put this in the chat if you want to sign up to this. There you go. So it's free. Once you sign into ChatGPT's website, you are able to also access the AI directly from the source and ask it these questions. Okay. And I just wanted to go over, just some example prompts that I found that I wanted to share just to show you what it's capable of. So you have some lead generation prompts you can use, craft a personalized introduction for a potential client interested in buying a home, generate me a response to an inquiry about property financing options, ask for basic info like budgets, preferences, location. You also have, you can create FAQs for clients. You can create a list of responses to common questions about the home buying process, tips for first-time home buyers, explaining steps involved in selling a property. These are great things you can use AI to generate that info. You're also able to do local recommendations. So I love these examples. These are really fun to send out, and I get very high response rates from these kinds of emails. So I can ask AI to suggest popular restaurants, schools, and recreational spots in a particular area. What are some family-friendly activities in XYZ area? Or provide insights into certain communities, community events, happening in XYZ area. Okay, and last but not least, I think you can also do, real estate industry knowledge based prompts. So explain the impact of interest rates on the market, discuss the importance of staging a home, providing insights into current challenges and opportunities in the real estate industry. So all of these right here are different prompts that you can utilize to generate, content and send that out to people. Okay, this is just a few examples. Your imagination is honestly the limit. So these are just some examples you can use. Okay, any questions? Amazing. Okay, and so really quickly, uh, if you do go ahead and create an account on the ChatGPT website, once you sign up, you will go to a screen that looks like this. Okay, and just in the same way we were typing the prompt in KvCORE, you'll also have a search, field right here that you can type those prompts into. So very last example I'll show just to show you guys how this works. If I was to, um, oops, grab one of these examples. So explain the impact of interest rates on the real estate market. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it in here. And then I'll add at the end in an email. Okay. So explain the impact of interest rates on the real estate market in an email. I'll press enter. And in the same way, it's going to generate that for me. Okay. So just like that, I've generated an email that I can copy. I can select all of this and then I can, paste it into my KvCORE and send it to Amy, for example. I could click on send email and just paste that information in here and make sure the text is not highlighted in black. That'll happen sometimes. But yeah, you are able to do that. So those are just some great recommendations that you can start with to nurture your leads and just to paint a much more colorful picture as far as what you can utilize this for. Okay, so let's go back into this. All right, so I think that brings us to the And I do want to give it one more go. Any questions about anything? AI is super exciting and it helps with a lot of different things. Please, if you have any questions, let me know. Anybody? All right. Okay, I think we're solid. Remember, this is being recorded. I will upload this on YouTube in the next 48 hours or so. So if you wish to go and rewatch this for, later on because you missed a specific portion, you will be able to do so. And to gain access to the YouTube channel, you can scan the QR code on the right-hand side. It'll take you there. And if you want to stay connected on Facebook also, you can scan the QR code on the left to join the Facebook group where I share updates and stuff like that. That concludes this Tech Tuesday. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. And I will see you next Tuesday for another awesome meeting about tech, AI, maybe KvCORE. I'll send you an email and then we'll catch on from there. Have a great night, everyone.